Okay, this is an actual article from the Ledger, which is a newspaper in Lakeland, Florida. The 1999 concert in Lakeland, Florida took place on February 1st, 1983. As you can see, this is dated Thursday, February 3rd, 1983, so this is 2 days after the concert. The writer of this little piece here, this review, is Valerie Hill. She was not a fan of the concert, as we will read. I'm going to read this. It's not very long. This article is titled, "He Was the Prince of Letdowns." So they're letting you know straight from the beginning that this is not going to be a flattering write-up here. He was not the Prince of Letdowns. Review by Valerie Hill, The Ledger. Prince and his warm-up bands, Vanity Six and The Time, didn't quite deliver the sizzling, quote-unquote sizzling performance the audience expected Tuesday night at the Lakeland Civic Center. The groups, known for their daring, sexy performances, for the most part downplayed their choreography and motions on stage. The two things the audience had paid their $10.50 and $11.50 primarily to see. I'm going to add this parenthetically. Can you imagine? I understand it was a while ago, a long time ago for some. 1983, you could see three fairly revolutionary bands at the top of their game, Vanity Six, The Time, and Prince, for only $10.50 or $11.50 US money. $10.50, $11.50 is just crazy to me. That's such a deal. Such a deal. You're basically paying less than $4 for each group. That is amazing. I'm going to continue. But the Times lead singer Morris Day, who most felt performed the best, managed to sneak in a few nice naughty movements and keep everyone jamming with the group's fusion of fast and slow tunes. Prince got off to a good start with two of his old upbeat dance tunes, Controversy and she calls it Work. I'm guessing she obviously meant Let's Work. But so how seriously can you take this lady? She doesn't even know the actual titles of his songs. She called Let's Work Work. I can't take her seriously. She clearly was not a Prince fan or a shooter, and she clearly didn't even do 1 second of research. This was long before the days of the internet, but I don't think it would have been very difficult for her to find out that the song was actually titled Let's Work. Continue. He did some acrobatic steps here and there and demonstrated a full version of the jerk. I think she's talking about the old dance called the jerk long before I was born, but I have heard of it. Continue. He did some acrobatic steps here and there and demonstrated a funk version of the jerk, quote unquote, but his dance steps seemed to lack the energetic, impressionable style he normally uses to entertain. During his 55-minute performance, Prince melted fast tunes into slow ones with I Want to Be Your Lover, which actual title is I Want to Be Your Lover, and Kiss. Again, clearly this lady didn't know anything about Prince or his music because their Kiss didn't come out until a few years later. So she's not talking about his Kiss from Parade Under the Cherry Moon. I don't know what song she's talking about here. But even if you look at the playlist according to Prince Vault, he went from I Want to Be Your Lover, he mixed in Head a little bit, and then he went straight to Little Red Corvette International Lover in 1990. He finished with 1999. So I don't know what she's talking about as far as the song Kiss. I have no idea. Continue. I Want to Be Your Lover and Kiss, but managed to lose almost everyone when he played an unfamiliar, tricky piano solo with the lyric, Why Don't You Call Me Anymore? Which he did play How Come You Don't Call Me Anymore? Again, I keep reiterating this, but this lady was definitely not a Prince fan because I didn't know how Come You Don't Call Me Anymore at that time in my life because I was, a teenager and a preteen and a very early teenager at that. But if you were of age and you were older than me, all Prince fans at that stage knew How Come You Don't Call Me Anymore. She calls it Why Don't. She says, but managed to lose almost everyone when he played an unfamiliar, tricky piano solo with the lyric, Why Don't You Call Me Anymore? This lady, I'm not going to say bad words about her, but she has no credibility at all. Prince's guitarist and organist got a bit heavy on the chords, and the drummer drowned the rhythm as they blasted out more unfamiliar rock-flavored tunes. Unfamiliar to her, I add. He saved his latest hit, 1999. He saved his latest hit, 1999, for last. Some of the audience had grown restless and began to leave before he finished the tune. I seriously doubt that. The highlights of Prince's performance included his attempts to taunt and tease when he threw a pair of black bikinis at the jam-packed crowd and a blunt pantomime lovemaking scene atop an elevated bed. Neither Prince nor Time, not the Time, she calls him just Time, neither Prince nor Time were very original in their stage settings or outfits this year. The same settings and similar costumes were used during last year's performance in Lakeland. But the three females in Vanity 6, a group Prince formed, strutted their stuff in their lacy, explicit lingerie bodysuits. With their tunes, Nasty Girls and Bite the Beat, which I don't even think they performed Bite the Beat on that tour. I really don't think they performed Bite the Beat. In all the previous sets, they never performed Bite the Beat, but maybe they did in that show. So I don't have any audio or video of that performance. But seeing that she failed miserably in all her other songs, in all her other mentioning of songs, I seriously doubt she got Bite the Beat correct. She's probably referencing a different song. With their tunes, Nasty Girls and Bite the Beat, the women demonstrated how they have been influenced by their creator with some hot dance steps during their 15-minute performance. It was the time, now she calls them the time, it was the time, however, that mostly captured and held the audience attention with old funky dance hits such as Get It Up, Cool, and Body Loose. I don't know what song she's talking about. Body Loose. I don't know what that is. I think she got the wrong title again of a song. Day, the lead singer, also stirred a few tears and moans and caused warm goosebumps among the women with his slow tune Girl. That eventually led to the new moderate hit Gigolo. That eventually led to the new moderate hit Gigolo. She calls it just Gigolo, not Gigolos Get Lonely Too. That eventually led to the new moderate hit Gigolo and an encore for the oldie Walk. Not The Walk, just Walk. She was really a really bad writer. My gosh. And how is Walk an oldie? That was on their new album at that time. The same album as Gigolo, quote unquote. So how is Walk an oldie when it's on the same new album? That doesn't make any sense. The Times performance was 50 minutes. Members of the audience expressed their disappointment on their way out. I had a hard time understanding the lyrics in Vanity 6, and I had a hard time understanding the lyrics in Vanity 6's songs, and I was really looking forward to seeing Prince, but he disappointed me. He just didn't perform like I expected him to, said Emma Nelson, 23, of Orlando. I thought they were pretty good, although Time was the best. They just didn't get off like they should have, said Bill Boney, 19, of Orlando. Attendance, according to this, 9,500, with a 10,000 person capacity. So almost sold out, but not quite sold out. Ticket price $10.50 in advance or $11.50 at the door. Showtime was 8 p.m. Performance started at 7:55. Total music time was 2 hours. Ledger rating fair. And they don't even put a picture of Prince in this. They just put a picture of Morris Day. So clearly this, I don't know who Valerie Hill was or is. If she's still with us, I don't know. But she was clearly not much of a Prince fan because she got a lot of the song titles wrong. And just, she got a lot of information wrong in here, which again, this is pre-internet, but would not have taken very much effort to just get the correct song titles. There's a longer article, A Party with Prince and Six, meaning Vanity Six, by Steve Turner of the Ledger, but I'm not going to read that. You can actually find this on Google if you want, and you can read it for yourself. And here's a nice picture of Vanity Six, which I'm sure many of us have seen. The color version of this is actually a very nice photo. This says Vanity Six taped a video of their song Drive Me Wild last week at the Lakeland Civic Center. Several Lakeland residents were in on the action. So they allegedly filmed their video for Drive Me Wild in Lakeland, Florida. All right, that's it. Miss Valerie Harper, I'm sure you were a nice person. Maybe you still are a nice person, but you failed miserably in if you're going to give a negative review, that's fine, but at least get your information correct.